Guys, what is up? It's Kansas Kid. I was just talking about Morgan silver dollars and asked the question if they were junk or not. And I just got bombarded with comments coming from every direction from all kinds of people. And it really created a pretty good discussion. And there are some pretty good topics that came out of it. And I want to bring those to your guys' attention. I want to see what you guys think about melting Morgan dollars, about sending these things to the melt. I don't collect Morgan dollars. I stack Morgan dollars. And I got most of these Morgans $22 and under. 25 is kind of, where I tapped out at. I like $25 Morgans. And then after that, I kind of just quit buying them and I moved a different direction. I'm not saying buying Morgans is bad by any means. That's not what I'm saying at all. I mean, I have them, I stack them. But I don't collect Morgans, and I've always said that. Now, collecting Morgans is not a bad thing. Some of the best examples of American history is in Morgan silver dollars, in my opinion. But you get Morgan dollars that are super wore down, super slick, no numismatic value whatsoever. And I had a lot of comments be like, yeah, if they're slicked out, those can go to the melt. And, what do you guys think about that? Some of these are better than the other ones, but, there's some decent ones in here. So how do you guys feel about slicked ones being sent out to melt? For example, if I took these in to the coin shop and I sold them, and the coin shop, he picks through and he picks out 40 that are good and 30 that are bad. And he sends 30 to the melt. He puts 40 back out on his floor to sell. What do you guys think about that? So my mindset on this is just silverweight for me. So if a Morgan dollar that's in good shape, if that thing melts at $38 for melt right now, some of these are slicked out. So I'm going to say, we'll say $30 a piece as an average. Right here, that's over $2,000 just in melt. So whenever I sell these down the road in the future, I'm not caring where they go. Because if I was going to be like diving into Morgan dollars and I want to preserve it, I'm going to want to preserve some of the better ones, and I love graded coins. I buy graded coins. Morgans is just not one that I do. So how do you guys feel about some of these going to melt? And I get a lot of people talking about stop the melt, don't melt, and some of the things that they buy, they're like real pristine stuff, BU pieces, uncirculated pieces. And if you guys find good examples like that, I'm with you. Don't throw that stuff in to be sent off to be melted. The thing is Morgans have a collector's aspect to them. So a lot of these, I think, would, if I sold these to a shop, a lot of these would be thrown back out on the floor to be sold to you guys, right? To keep them going. But the only reason I buy them is because I bought them well under melt, and they're just going to be sold. These things are just, whenever I want to do it, I'm going to take them all in and just sell everything I got. Because I have no attachment to these. That's what they're for me to sell. So what do you guys think? Now, I think some of these that are nicer, can be thrown back out on the floor to be resold, put in someone else's pocket. But, some of these that are in rough shape, unless you're doing the slickest Morgan challenge, it's not going to hurt my feelings if they go to the melt. Because I'm not attached to this stuff. Would I like to see them all thrown back out on the floor and resold? Absolutely, I would. Absolutely, I would. You know, is that the case? Probably not, because when people go into shops, they're going to cherry pick. You know, they're going to pick through. If there's a whole box of these, you know, they're going to pick through and get what they want. They're not just going to go in there and be like, oh yeah, I'll take this one over this one, or I'll take that one over that one. You know, the better coin's always going to be picked. So, are you for melting some organs and some, junk silver that's in real rough shape? Or are you guys against everything as far as melting any of it? And with that being said, you know, when you take stuff to the shops and you sell this stuff, what do you think they're doing with it? The stuff they can't sell or that's in rough shape, you know, they're not keeping it. They're sending off and having it melted. What do you guys think? I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you soon.